Hey, it's John Reese, and I have an interesting question for you. How much money would you make if you could clone yourself? Really think about that for a moment. If you could somehow clone yourself and get twice as much work done, how much more would you make? Well, logic dictates that if you could do twice the work, you'd probably make twice as much money, right? And it might actually be more than that. Your business could grow twice as fast and produce exponential income. But what if you could somehow have 3 clones? Or 10 clones? I'm sure you get the idea. Well, unfortunately, I can't show you how to clone yourself, but I believe I can teach you the next best thing. What I'm about to teach you is the #1 most valuable skill in all of internet marketing. Let me repeat that. The #1 most valuable skill in all of internet marketing. I'm going to prove that to you throughout this video series. Now, if you can master the skill I'm about to teach you, making a lot of money from your online business will become 10 times easier. And frankly, it's just going to make you a happier person. You'll feel less overwhelmed, less stressed out, and less overworked. Do you know why people struggle to succeed online? Well, let me give you a few reasons. Search engine optimization, social media, writing blog posts, getting backlinks, researching markets, doing keyword research, handling customer support, creating products, managing technical tasks, list building, split testing, analyzing analytics, etc., etc., etc. No wonder people get frustrated and quit and give up. Or even if they are making a little bit of money, no wonder they don't grow fast enough. It's too much for one person to do all by themselves. I'm sure you're no stranger to the thought, there just aren't enough hours in the day. Look, there are thousands of opportunities to make money online, and new ones are created every single week. It's probably always going to be this way. Come on, you know how it is. Everywhere you go online, you look and say, oh, I can see there's a way to make money there. I see the opportunity over here. That's just how it is. But listen carefully to this. Making money online takes hard work. Anyone that tells you otherwise is not giving all the facts. If you've done anything online, you know this. You know all the hard work that it takes. But here's the good news, and this is very, very important. This is what this whole video series is about. You can actually have other people do all this hard work for you. That's the difference. You don't have to do all the hard work. You can have others do it. If it has to get done, you might as well have others do it for you. Now imagine how great it would be if all you did with your time was just come up with new money-making ideas. Then you just pass those ideas on to someone else, have them do the actual work to test the idea, to grow the idea. You get the picture. This is how I live my life, and this is what I want to teach you how to do. It's going to make you a lot happier. You're going to enjoy being an entrepreneur much better, because that's what being an entrepreneur is about, right? It all starts with those ideas. That's when it's fun. Putting into action and making it all work, or even seeing if it'll work, that's no fun. That's why a lot of people don't follow through and actually do much. Well, pay close attention, because you can make that a reality. That life of you spending most of your time just coming up with exciting new money-making ideas. Come on, you know that's all you want to do anyways. That's all any of us want to do. We don't want to do all the work that goes along with making it happen. We just like coming up with the new ideas and then making money from them. Listen, this isn't some new fad or marketing gimmick, what I'm teaching you. In fact, all of this, all of it, is based on the oldest formula in the world, listen to this, that's been the foundation of all wealth. The little formula I'm referring to is very simple and it's timeless. In fact, if you had a time machine and you could somehow travel back to any point in history where there's opportunity, you'd see this formula in action. This is my GTR. It's one of the fastest production cars in the world, but it's not a DeLorean. There's no flux capacitor inside, and it didn't come with Michael J. Fox. So no matter how fast you go in this car, you can't get it to go back in time. Believe me, I've tried. In fact, I used to hold the world record for this car in drag racing with my other GTR. But if we could go back in time, we could visit the late 1800s Northern Dakota gold rush and we'd see the formula at work. We could zoom back in time to the office of Henry Ford and watch him use and refine this formula to create the very first American business empire. And we could also travel to any point in the future and we'd still see this wealth-building formula in use. The formula is simply this: write small checks and get back larger checks. That's it. That's what making money is all about. It all comes down to resource management, and some do this better than others. In fact, the people that do it the best end up actually doing less of the real work, but end up making more money. Let me give you a modern-day example of this. I'm sure you've heard of Siegfried and Roy. Aside from Harry Houdini, they're pretty much regarded as the pioneers of magical stagecraft. Their headline, Masters of the Impossible Las Vegas Act, has been a major attraction since 1990, and they were performing all over the world for nearly 20 years before that. They became so popular that in February of 2001, the Mirage Hotel and Casino Resort in Las Vegas signed them to a lifetime contract. They would perform 8 times a week, 44 weeks a year, for the rumored compensation of $38 million per year. But tragically, just 2 years after that deal was done, during a live sold-out performance, Roy was critically mauled by a 7-year-old white tiger. You probably remember hearing about this in the news. 3 days after the accident, the Mirage announces that the show will not go on and that show employees should start pursuing other career options. Aside from the fact that Roy could have easily been killed and thankfully he recovered, I'm trying to make a point about how their business was structured. There's another group of performers that you're probably familiar with, the Blue Man Group. It's those 3 guys that are painted blue and do a crazy, wacky, fun show, and their audiences love them. To see them perform, we can just go to their website. Now, the first thing you'll notice on their website is the Choose a City option. Now, isn't that interesting? You can see these guys are in New York, Boston, Las Vegas, Orlando, even internationally. Now, how do you think that works? There's no doubt that they're successful and can afford a private jet, but I bet they're not flying across the country on a daily basis to put on their show. So how do they do it? Well, it's a pretty simple formula. They outsourced it. That's right, the original founders, Phil, Chris, and Matt, simply did a talent search, and they found others to train as the Blue Men. Those other Blue Men went and did those other performances, and it doesn't bother audiences at all. Today, they have over 70 Blue Men on payroll. Estimates for their annual earnings? Somewhere between $60 and $80 million per year. So these guys are writing small checks and cashing massive checks. Listen, you need to make an important decision about how your business is going to be structured. A, you're either going to do all the work yourself, like Siegfried and Roy, or B, you're going to pay others to do the work for you, like the Blue Man Group. These are the only 2 options you have, so what are you going to do? So think about it. If the Blue Man Group can just pay others to do their entire show, their entire business for them, and if you've ever seen their show, it's awesome, but it's pretty complicated. So if they can outsource that to other people and get other people to do all that stuff for them, then shouldn't outsourcing all the parts of an internet business be easy as well? Well, it is. Now listen, if you're not making as much money in your business as you'd like to, maybe you're feeling overworked or stressed out, or even just frustrated by this whole having an online business process, because I said it before, it takes a lot of hard work. There's no changing that. It's always going to contain hard work. But if you're feeling that way, and you're going through that, it's simply because you're not using this little formula that I'm talking about. In this free video series, we're going to change all that for you. In the New York Times bestseller, The 4-Hour Workweek, author Tim Ferriss talks about his concept of the new rich. He's referring to living a great lifestyle today instead of waiting until retirement age to finally enjoy yourself. Now, in the book, Tim talks about how he traveled all over the world and at the same time had his own business practically running on autopilot for him. And this is what allowed him to travel so freely and do all those amazing things. But what was the #1 secret to his amazing lifestyle? Outsourcing. He was having others do all the real work in his business while he enjoyed himself. And the beauty was it was very inexpensive to do because we're now living in a global economy. He was able to tap into labor that you can buy for pennies on the dollar. That's what I'm talking about in this entire video series. There's a reason the majority of Fortune 500 companies are also now incorporating global outsourcing. And oh, by the way, when I say outsourcing, I don't mean just posting a job on a site like Elance. There's a lot more to it than that, a lot more. So pay close attention. Now, I really enjoyed reading Tim's book because I've been living that lifestyle for years. In fact, almost 2 years ago, I launched one of my most successful projects ever, but I wasn't quite sitting behind a desk in an office while it was going on. I was in Pamplona, Spain, enjoying the Running with the Bulls festival with a bunch of my friends. And on that same trip, I went on and visited the pyramids in Egypt. So I have a bit of a confession to make.